Excuse me? All right. Good. Starting good so far. Testing, testing. One, two, three. Sounding good. All right. I believe I can get started. Hello, everyone. As usual, it has been a while. It has been kind of a reason, or rather several reasons for that. I had kind of like a major freelancing job in the work, so I had to like kind of work, do some stuff around that. And following that, there were a few hiccups and some things that unfortunately didn't go the way that I like. To kind of keep a long story short, uh, I do freelance photography and videography, and one of the things that I like to do as kind of uh, part of that is to keep stuff that I've done in the past stored in hard drives. And I've been doing this for for quite a long while, like over a decade. Uh, Unfortunately, a couple of the larger hard drives that I own, which I like to store kind of like stuff that it's like I've both recently, or stuff that I've worked like in the past, like certain hard drives for like certain like kind of time periods of stuff that I've done for both myself and various clients. They started not to work. So it's like now I have to figure out not only how to, you know, find a good data recovery place, but also I have to kind of figure out just what to do going forward so that I don't find myself being put on the back foot like this, because especially in regards for quite a number of things. If I end up losing something, I'm not getting it back, unfortunately. So, it has happened before. Pretty rare, but it has happened, unfortunately. So, I can't. It's not something that I want to take lightly. Although I haven't been I haven't been as well as upkeeping that as I have been, just because I've gotten myself involved in so many things. So, uh, I kind of unknowingly kind of set up a ticking time bomb for itself, and it is kind of showing signs of going off. And I feel like, yeah, it's like now is the time that I really have to do stuff. So it has not been a fun time, and on top of that, my grandmother's health has been deteriorating uh, quite a bit, and I still have to try to you know keep myself on top of stuff that I'm already involved in. Hello, thanks for joining in. So it's just full of things that I'm just not too thrilled about. So that's kind of why I kind of had to make a pretty tough decision to basically, until I get things kind of sorted out. You know, uh, I decided to not do any sort of charity events outside of my Extra Life campaign that I've already kind of started. And even then, with the Extra Life campaign, uh, you know, I still kind of have to like hold on. I still gotta like kind of do stuff as well as it kind of fits in, which yeah, it really sucks because it is something that I'm pretty passionate about. So it is a little it is a little tricky to kind of just to kind of navigate how well things would work um in kind of my current situation, because it's like I want to be available to help people, and to do like these really nice events and all that stuff, and it's just like, oh man, it's like I had to wonder, just like with all the stuff that's kind of going on and kind of how ill prepared I was. It's just like, how much of a hole am I digging for myself. But I still plan to to at least do stuff with Extra Life, if I can if I can fit along the time. I know I want to at least do game day, because game day is the big one. Uh, but let's see. But for now, it's like I have to kind of figure out kind of how to sort out my business for the time being. And it sucks that especially some stuff, even like the stuff that I have to do, is conflicting with each other, because I'm supposed to also be helping to clean out my grandparents' house, yet especially with the stuff that's been going on lately, I just haven't been able to help with that as much as I would like to. So it's like they just recently had to like clear out a good chunk of like the shed, which has all sorts of stuff, including like a bunch of antiques that my grandparents had. You know, And I know sometime later this month, there's going to be another like full week where my uncle is going to come on over to help out with that. And so when that happens, we're gonna really try to get as much stuff done as we can with that. You know, kind of like back when I did in April. Um, who would win, Thor or Captain America? It's a little hard to say, especially because you know, I know that the MCU had the whole Civil War movie, but it's like I'm far from current in the MCU, so I'm not sure if we already have that kind of decided. But, you know, the other thing too is that with all the, you know, all the multiverses and all the retellings of superhero stories, I'm pretty sure that there was at least a Thor and Captain America matchup at some point, because it's like you have a super soldier with a very indestructible shield, but then you also have a god in Norse mythology uh, who has a very strong hammer and commands lightning. So, yeah, it's like that'd be an interesting matchup for sure. You know. So right now I am, you know, back on the subject of Pokemon, Pokemon Violet. Um, I am currently focusing on going on, I think it's the southwestern area of Paldea. That is when I think we're going to Alfornata. And that's where the Psychic Gym is. So I currently, you know, after, you know, taking care of the Ghost Gym, I do have 6 gym badges. But then after that, I have 2 Team Star leaders, 1 Titan, and then the Ice Gym leader next. So if I had to choose between a Alolan Raichu or Alolan Ninetales, I mean, I really like both, but I mean, but I also really like the Pikachu line, so I would have to say Alolan Raichu. Especially just for the fact they finally gave Raichu something. You know, after giving Pikachu all sorts of cool things, they finally gave something to Raichu. And of course it's only and of course it's a region exclusive thing. You know, it's a region variant. You know. And it's like, unfortunately, you know, even though in the DLC expansion, we do have sort of like an Alolan area. Unfortunately, there isn't a means to get an Alolan Raichu, even though you can get you know, both kinds of Exeggutor in the Blueberry Academy, which kind of sucks. You know, I would definitely love to have Alolan Raichu again. You know, it's really awesome. You know, they probably should have like came up with like an Alolan Pancakes item, because because apparently in the Pokedex entry, you know, Pikachu became Alolan Raichu because it had some really delicious Alolan pancakes. And it's like, man, it wouldn't be that nice if it was an item, but nah, you got to use a Thunderstone, specifically in the Alolan region, or you have to, I think, do a specific side quest in Sword and Shield. I think, oh yeah, you have to find like a certain amount of Alolan Diglett in order to get an Alolan Raichu. Which, I mean, man. Shiny Pichu, Shiny Charizard. As far as I'm aware, Shiny Pichu and Shiny Pikachu aren't exactly all that spectacular, but Shiny Charizard, is just charcoal black, so it's like, yeah, of course I'm gonna pick the Shiny Charizard. Well, this is awkward. It's like it didn't really snap me back to on the other side. So for all I know, it's like I'm gating up on my own Pokemon. Uh, are you talking about the holographic Charizard? Cause I don't think that's the same thing unless if they since made like a shiny Charizard card in the Pokemon TCG. That is something that I also haven't really followed up a whole bunch. So I wouldn't know. Plus, I mean it's let's see. Man, these Pokemon are already level 43. Excuse me! Okay, oh, there I am. Okay, I think we need to change Pokemon for this a little bit. Alright. Ooh, acrobatics, that's actually pretty good. It does massive damage if the user isn't holding an item. I mean, this is good, and this is also good. It's hard to pick one. I mean, the thing that is nice. Let's see. I think you might have asked me this last stream, Queen Day Night. I think I choose Score Bunny, especially because I definitely I prefer Cinderace to Lopunny. Okay. Gotta remember Pokemon types. I mean, they can be, but I mean, I've also been playing the Pokemon since, I was a kid, so... It's, something that I just... kind of have in the recesses of my brain. Okay, let's see. Not complicated for you, huh? Not really. Ah! Let's see now. So much work. Man, I feel that. I take it that, you don't have a Cyclosaur? I mean, you have a Mudsdale. I mean, why don't you ride that? Mudsdale could be ridden on. Although I'm about to knock it out, so maybe you won't be able to ride on it for much longer. Okay. I don't know, you kind of needed more than one Pokemon, my dude. Do I want to fight you? I mean, I kind of need the experience, but I'm a little concerned. This could go badly, but you know what? Might as well. Okay, Hippowdon. Okay. It'll be a Rockruff, you know. Definitely a fan of the Rock Doggo. I mean, this does kind of work out in my favor. Okay, Lycan Rock. Okay, gonna need something different. Okay, let's see. Which Lycan Rock are you gonna bring out? You know. Yep, the day one. Ow. I mean, Litten is super effective to Bulbasaur, so I mean, for as much as I want to stand up to like, the OG, it's like if we're just talking specifically on type matchups, it's like you're not really picking something that would stand well in kind of a contest, you know. Let's see. Okay, do I want to stop at 46? I think maybe for the safe side, maybe just do 47, you know. It would be a little bit over leveled, but, a very better safe than sorry kind of situation. Okay, we are in Area 6. Behold these muscles! I mean, in the world of Pokemon, it doesn't really matter how fit you are. It kind of depends on how fit your Pokemon are. Oh, I should have done this shot. Really? Oh, yeah, I think it was trying to do synchronize, but it didn't work because, unless if you have the ability corrosion, you can't poison a poison type. In fact, it's also a steel type, which, corrosion also applies. Don't hit yourself, please. Thank you. You did miss, though. This doesn't look too good, so I'm gonna switch out. No, well, I'm not a fan of Wobbuffet. It's one of the few Pokemon where I'm just like, nah. So it's like, yeah, you're trying to compare it to Snorlax, and it's like, no, there's no comparison there. Snorlax was a early heavy hitter in the earlier gens, and in some ways still can be. It just depends on what kind of team you want to set up. I mean, everyone has their favorites, I guess, but I don't see Wobbuffet as adorable. you know, it's just there, and whenever I run into it, it gets annoying. So, you know. Oh, there's Sinisty here. You know what? Well, for first things first, I would like to catch one of these. Then after that, if I battle enough of them, I could probably get enough of the materials they have to help evolve my Charcadet into Cerulege, which would be very nice. Okay, Bug Buzz. Yeah, Bug Buzz is definitely a lot better than Struggle Bug. I'm gonna call you a Sam because I think that's a type of T. Yeah, a Sam is a type of T. I think I pronounced it right. Let's see. Now then, okay. Do I have the pot that I could evolve it with? Okay, I would probably know from like here. I do not. So there may not be a good chance for me to actually use the Pokemon, but let's see. Snubble or Yamper? I don't know. I mean, both of their evolutions are kinda... Well, I mean, Gramble has gotten better, but it's like both of their evolutions are kinda there. Although Bolton has kind of been helpful in my first run of oh geez, that's Sylveon. I would like to have it. Just let me catch this Klefki real quick. I might have use for it later. Okay, I don't want to necessarily take this sucker out, so... Ah. Get in the ball! Ah! Stinker. You're just gonna be that way, aren't you? Alright, now are you gonna get in the ball? That Sylveon's probably long gone by now. But I did get myself a Klefki. I'm gonna call you. Lockhart. Okay. Okay. That'll do. Alright, there's another one. Okay, how many of those do I have, though? Okay, I have 4. I think I probably need 15 in order to get the item that I need to evolve my, Yeah, Growlithe is a dog. You know. Not sure if there was anything that would signify Growlithe is not a dog. Especially, given its name, Growlithe. Oh, give me Ghoul Coin. No, Growlithe is not a tiger. I mean, not that I would know any dogs that would have striped fur or anything like that, but it's like, no, I mean... The kind of, the kind of way that the rest of what, how Growlithe was designed was, Lycanroc. But yeah, the way that Growlithe was designed was mainly, it just mainly signified dog. Alright, Screaming Gators level 47. Will-O-Wisp. That is a very curious move. I would imagine it could be handy, but... Oh, and you also have Hex on top of it. That is a... That's, like, good for strategy, but it's like, It's kind of not what I'm going right now with, Screamigator. And I felt like it would have made more sense if it was, like, earlier in its moveset than as opposed to right now when it already kind of has at least harder hitting moves at the very least. Okay. I kind of wonder if I should have at least my Char Cadet at least in my party just to get levels up. Because that way I could at least make way for the Ceruledge. I still got Dog from Smeargle. Like, it's like, there are just certain traits of, like, animals that's, like, when you see it, it's just like, yeah, it's, it's one kind of animal versus another kind of animal. Okay, yeah, the Char Cadet's not going to go up against that. But Steel Fairy. Jeez. I don't really have any... Oh, no, I can dig. Alright. Let's see now. Let's see now. Yeah, I really need to fight more. Where'd it go? Okay, let's just swap it out. I mean, if we're talking in the realms of Pokemon, it depends on kind of like movesets but Mewtwo is a very hard one to go against just because not only was it like the original strongest Pokemon, but they've actually done some pretty good upkeep with Mewtwo to the point where it's like he never really fell off. And while nowadays it's a little crowded as far as like who's the strongest Pokemon discussion, especially when they, all sorts of like gimmicks and stuff are introduced, and like there's Pokemon that can like really benefit from it. And there's always like a new broken Pokemon of sorts. But Mewtwo has always been a part of that conversation, where it's like even with the Mega Evolution, Lucario is a really handy Pokemon for like normal play and even like competitive play. But Mewtwo is always going to be in the area where it's like you can't really play competitively with Mewtwo and expect it to be fair. And that was even before its two Mega Evolutions came into the mix. So yeah. Smash Brothers is a little bit of a different story. I think Lucario kind of has the advantage over U2 in Smash Brothers, unfortunately. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunately. Well, unfortunate for Mewtwo, but not so much for those that like to play Lucario. But again, it always depends on who's playing what and how it's played. Because you could have like the best kind of Pokemon at your disposal, but if you don't know what to do with them, then it's like what's the point? Which Pokemon do I see being handy? Well, I mean, I'm already gonna have an ice Pokemon, but I mean, Palossand doesn't really have a whole lot of good moves. If I could just get Mischievous going, then I have a Miss Magus. And Miss Magus can really rock the house. But I mean, I already have 2 ghost Pokemon. I guess I could afford like another dark Pokemon or something. Although then again, kind of. Let's see. Decisions. I mean, really all comes down to what I'm willing to raise up. You know what? I don't think I've ever had a Mischievous. Not a Mischievous. Miss Magus before. So let's entertain that for a little bit, especially when I have like all these other Pokemon that I could quickly switch to should things get a little spicy. Also, I would like to check to see how many of those. Let's see. Synesty chips. Okay, I think I need 6 more. I think I need 6 more. Okay, that's a flow. Huh, that's a gimme gold coin. Yep, I'm gonna catch you while you're asleep. Not really too keen on either Jigglypuff or Psyduck, but if I had to pick one or the other, I mean, Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff, definitely, with the added fairy type, definitely, definitely would work out a little bit better. Especially because they never gave Psyduck, for whatever reason, they didn't give, like, Psyduck and Golduck, the psychic type, even though it's like Psyduck and, Golduck is in its name, and yet they're just mono water types that, just happen to have psychic moves. And it's like there isn't even a regional variant that gives them like that makes them like psychic Pokemon or anything. So it's like, what gives? Like literally, what gives? Like, not sure if I'm going to be able to run from this, so. Cineroar or Lucario? Well, I mean, they both kind of have ways to kind of counteract with each other. Can I climb the ladder? I don't think I can climb the ladder. Okay. Because I know the fighting type of Lucario counteracts Incineroar's dark type, but the fire type of Incineroar counteracts Lucario's steel type. So, I mean, there can be a bit of a starter bias with me, so, I probably would say Incineroar. But again, like you, and we're just talking like main game because in the main titles, because I know they're both in Smash Brothers as well. And I think Smash Brothers wise, Lucario probably beat out Incineroar because Incineroar gets a little showy, and some of the moves aren't exactly the most intuitive. Where it's like, Lucario's aura, you know, makes it a more viable fighter the more it takes damage, up to a certain point, of course. Bamble-Giest. I do not. I'm playing Violet, so I do not have a Roaring Moon. I'm also not at that point of the game, so sorry. Sorry, Peggy. I can't really help you out there. To send out. You know what? Frostbite might. Oh, you said you want the Mischievous for a Roaring Moon. I mean, I think I managed to get a Roaring Moon in my Scarlet version, so I'm not exactly needing one at the moment. And you know, I'm already holding back the Hisuian Zoroark that I got um as part of a promotion code. Mainly because it's a little overleveled at the moment, so I mean, even if I did trade something to get the Roaring Moon, I probably wouldn't use it right away. Because I try not, unless if there's something that's like really testing my patience, I usually try not to like breeze through the game if I can help it, you know. I'm not sure if you would be into the Mischievous that I currently have. Uh, it's the stat distribution on it is a little out of whack. It doesn't really have the best nature. I mean, I did see like a Mischievous that I could catch, but at the same time, it's that would take a little bit to set up, and I can get a little clumsy when it comes to like multiplayer setting. I'm a little clumsy when it comes to setting up multiplayer interactions on the fly, unfortunately. So I don't. It's like I don't want. I don't want to give you an expectation of something that I probably couldn't do immediately. Is what I'm trying to get at. Even though I appreciate the offer. What mega form is my favorite? That's a little hard to say. I mean, Absol is one of my longtime favorites, and I do really like its mega form, so, probably go with that. um, Froakie. Trying to think if I would be able to use it if I haven't gotten to that part of the game yet. It's like even though my game has been properly updated, um, oh, that's right. I can't be switched out because of the fire spin. Drat. I mean, Mega Lucario's pretty cool. Okay, can the Dusk Ball work, please? This is gonna get really annoying. I'm just kind of ready to say screw it. It's like I love evolutions, including Flareon, but it's like, man. It's like expecting a lot of course the Ultra Ball works. don't think you need to update the game. Trade you for Oki. Okay. Uh. Okay. I mean, hmm. I mean, let's see. Well, I mean, Lucario is just straight up, inspired by, Anubis of Egyptian legend. So in the case of the Pal World equivalent, they kind of dropped the pretense a little bit. I don't think you need an update game for me to trade you for Oki. Okay. I mean, I haven't really gone into this, expecting to trade with other viewers, Peggy. So I do apologize if I'm kind of giving you a bit of a non-answer here. But the thing. Here's the thing that I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid, trying to spend like a good 30 to 45 minutes trying to get like the logistics of the trade down, because here's the thing that if I remember correctly, Pokemon isn't exactly, for whatever reason, they haven't really gotten intuitive with how they set up trades. Like, I think I tried to like trade online with, because my sister, I gave her my hand-me-down Switch, and I also have like we both have Scarlet and Violet. And I think I had, in order for the trade to work, because I was at the point of the game when I was trying to fill up Pokedex entries, specifically for the Blueberry Academy Pokedex, because there was kind of quite a number of trade evolutions involved with that. And it's like I had to do local, because even though I do online, for whatever reason, the default for online, I think, is just with random people. Which, I'm not sure if they wanted to prioritize the Pokemon Home app, or it's like, hey, if you want to trade with friends or something. Although it's like it's weird, as far as I remember, and it's like it's just I don't. And again, it's just like it's like I know you. You may want to like try to get a specific Pokemon that you want or something like that, but it's like I'm not sure how I feel about spending anywhere from like 30 to 45 minutes to an hour to just figure that out. So I mean, it's like, it's nothing personal against you. It's just like, it's like I have to realistically think about how I wanted to, go about that sort of thing without creating kind of a bit of a stall in like the live stream, especially because since I don't really live stream a whole lot as it is, it's like I don't want one of the few times that I managed to do so, spending like an hour and a half to like trade someone. At the very least, trade with someone that I've only managed to like meet via like YouTube chat. Now, if it was one of my like longtime friends, and we've kind of like tried to set things up ahead of time, maybe I'll entertain the idea. But it's just like, I mean, again, it's one of those things where it's like I'm not sure how to go about this, because I remember a couple of times when I try to like set up like multiplayer stuff just on the drop of a hat, it's like I had to like waste like 30 to 45 minutes just stumbling around like an idiot while it's like who's ever watching had to like wait patiently for me to figure it out. So it's like it's just one of those things where it's like if I didn't plan to do something like this going in, it's just I'm not too confident in my ability to like figure it out on the fly and to just have the stream go on break because it's just. And like I know it's like some like typing in like a link code and stuff like that, but it's just like again, it's like I still have to like it isn't just like the interaction itself that I have to think about. It's just, taking a time away from a stream that I'm already kind of set on doing. Especially because, with this being an RPG, I'm already spending like, 1 to 2 to like 3 hours just grinding Pokemon until I get to like the next major point of the game. Like if this was like one of the things that I was kind of thinking of doing, if it's in the cards, is to kind of have like, kind of doing like an extra stream where it's like I do some of the extra stuff within the game. But it's and some of that might involve, trading Pokemon. But again, it's just like I haven't gotten to that point yet and it's like, I can't do that to like the rest of the people watching the stream, especially if it ever gets to a point where it's like, say like, my channel kind of starts to take off, and there's like 6, 10, 20 people, maybe even more in any given stream. If I paid special attention to one person, that random person that wants to trade Pokemon, then I have to extend the same courtesy to everybody, and it's like that just completely stall out the stream, and then I also have to take account for people that want to like be a troll, and say that hey, trade for something, and then something goes awry and it just completely ruins the whole thing. Not saying that that's what you're trying to do, but it's like it's just unfortunately I have to consider it as a possibility, especially to people that I don't know outside of YouTube or Twitch audience. Spearow or Rowlet? Pick one. Definitely Rowlet. Spearow is a early game, normal flying bird that, may have been, helpful in said early game during the early gen, but, kind of quickly fell off, even in the gen that it was introduced in. And honestly is kind of a little forgettable. Honestly, a more fair question would be Spearow or Pidgey, and I probably would do Pidgey because Pidgey at least has 2 evolutions, and Pidgeot is somewhat decent, at least for the generation that it was introduced. Yeah, I mean, Pidgeot did eventually get a Mega Form, which it's kind of not really helping itself. It's just kind of there. I mean, it looks kind of interesting enough, but you know what? I'll forgo play rough. I think for nostalgia's sake, I would take Butterfree over Beautifly. Because, I mean, Beautifly is essentially Butterfree 2.0. And, you know, it without really kind of the nostalgic attachment to it. Not sure why I would pick Chatot over Starly. I mean, Starly eventually becomes a Star Raptor, and Star Raptor is a really good Pokemon. You know, regardless of what generation you're playing. Chatot just kind of stays as a Chatot. Just checking. I still need 5 more. I haven't really ran into a lot of Sinistes, but then again, this could just be kind of where I'm kind of positioned myself, I guess. I mean, yeah, the music note is an interesting concept. With Chatot literally being a star. No, it's star, a songbird. But it just kind of it's just in a way kind of just feels like a nice novelty Pokemon to have in your Pokedex, and that's about it. And I mean, there are plenty of Pokemon that do the song motif kind of better, you know. So, kind of before and since. But that's just me. Yeah, I mean, Chatot would definitely be a Pokemon that would be considered more on the forgettable side of things. I mean, I think that's the English localization of the Abra line where it's like Abracadabra, Alakazam. Uh, as far as to my knowledge, anyway. Because I think I mentioned this in like a previous part where it's like the names for Pokemon are different depending on what region you're in. Like, I mean, the easiest example would be, a lot of the Japanese names of Pokemon are very different from the English localizations, although Pikachu is just straight up Pikachu. Same with Raichu. But but if I recall correctly, I think I think the easiest example that I can remember off of the top of my head is Charizard. Charizard's Japanese name is Lizardon. I think, if memory serves me right. Hopefully this won't take it out. Okay, there we go. Hey! I mean, Bellsprout is super effective against a Cubone. I mean, design-wise, I like Cubone better. And there's actually uh, kind of a story behind a Cubone, even though it's depressing as all heck. Let's see, what would be a good... I'm gonna name you Trevor. Okay, well, out of level 42 mine, so... Why is the attack the stat that's boosted and special defense the one that's being dragged down? Come on. Did I still have dig? Yes, I do. Oh, Mud Shot is also super effective, what type of Pokemon would Rosalina have? I don't know. I mean, I would imagine that she would have a lot of Pokemon that are, given that she's in space, probably her team would reflect that, because I know Clefairy is a Pokemon that has been set in space. I'm trying to. I know. It's more than just Clefairy, but it's like the only one. I guess I could see her having a Glimmera, you know, Space Rock. Oh, there's also another Pokemon, like that Meteor Pokemon. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's a rocket flying Pokemon that's literally a meteor. Okay, Incinerate is definitely better than Ember. I mean, I know Deoxys is also a Pokemon in space, so liquidation. Okay. It's a good physical move, but I like the moves that it already has. You know, one has a higher critical hit chance, and one increases its speed. You know, and plus it's also its signature move. So I feel like I gotta have it on by default or something. I mean, Staryu and Starmie are kind of based on Starfish, you know. More Starfish than anything. Although I guess, you know, you know, huh. It's just Luma is like it has this like very puffy, you know, star vibe to it, you know. It's kind of a little hard to replicate. And I forgot to switch out my Quaquaval. Okay, that wasn't what I was trying to do, by the way. No, that also wasn't what I was trying to do. Okay, well, I didn't use my Quaquaval battle, so I don't need to, like, heal it or anything. Okay. Trying to think what other Pokemon would be handy to have as part of my team. Because, you know, I already got, you know, the starter that has the dark type, and the fire starter that's also ghost type. So, little tricky. I mean, I don't want to have too many. Well, yeah, because, you know, Cosmog eventually becomes, you know, a sun and a moon Pokemon. So, yeah, that would be. You know, that makes sense. Although, I mean, she would also be perfectly content with just, you know, a bunch of little Cosmogs. They are kind of like Luma. The thing is, yeah, I don't want too many Pokemon that are, like, too low level. You know? I kind of want to have... Glacier would be nice to have. Okay. Let's see. Okay, how many of them do I need left? You know, watch is I'll either be short or I'll have like more than enough. It's like it'll be interesting to see if I just so happen to have like the right number or something. Because I think it's 15 that I need, or at the very least 10. But I want to get 15 just to be on the safe side. Oh yeah, I mean, Bowser would definitely have a lot of Pokemon that, uh, would be like, you know, Turtle, you know, a Fire and Turtle. I mean, there is a a Fire Dragon Pokemon that has a turtle going on. It's Turtonator, I think. Cause you know, usually turtles are water, like you know, the Choodle and Squirrel lines, they're water, so I'm not sure if Bowser would necessarily have them. You know, there's also Camerupt, which is basically a volcanic camel. I could see Bowser having an Incineroar. Fire Dark type. You know, it's also pretty loud and boisterous Pokemon. But yeah, it's like there aren't a whole lot of defensive fire types, and I figured, you know, turtles are at least very bulky defensive mon. You know, a lot of recent Pokemon, a lot of recent fire types kind of shown to have some bulk. Like I know Incineroar can be bulky special defense wise. You know, Skeledirge can also has a bit of bulk to it. So, I mean, who knows? Okay, do I have enough? No, that's not what I wanted to check. Uh, 14. Okay, we just need to kind of defeat one more Sinistea, and then I'm gonna. I think it's like Sapino or Sapino or something. It was like a offshoot town. Let's see. And then I mean, I'm probably gonna take a bit of a quick break to use the restroom. Then after that, I'm gonna quickly go to the town where I could get the item to evolve my Charcadet into a Cerulege. Okay, I think I have enough. Okay. So I'm gonna heal my Pokemon. Gonna take a bit of a break. Then we are going to continue. Alright, gonna save my adventure. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Uh, Sorry about that. Took a little longer than expected. Mainly because, uh, I, uh, tomorrow morning is trash day, so I kind of want to take that, to take it out, before I forget. Because since I still live with my folks, it still has to be a bit of a team effort, just to make sure I'm, contributing to the general high hygiene of the house. Uh, I mean, I don't know what kind of Pokemon Daisy would have. It's not something that I really thought about. you know, yeah, I usually just kind of leave it to the fan artists, or if it's like a random like Discord discussion or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's not something that kind of came across in my mind specifically, just because you know uh, I don't really it's not it's not really how I kind of use my own imagination, so to say. Maybe if back when I was kind of maybe younger, probably would have been something that I thought about seriously, or if I needed something to pass the time. But that is neither the case, at least for me personally. But it is an interesting question. I mean, you know, I could totally see her having a Pikachu. Probably even one of those cosplay ones. But I feel like she would have quite a number of ground Pokemon, especially those that have like a sandy motif. Especially given the fact that uh, her kingdom is in the desert. I think that would be more of her focus than anything, if I really had to think about it. Okay, so I am trying to find the area where I get the thing. Where do I go and get the thing? No, it's not Medali. Zapapico. Okay, that's the place. Zapapico. Yeah, I think Sandshrew and Sandslash, the original Cantonian one would be more up her alley. Maybe a Maractus? The dancing cactus Pokemon. I need to find the guy with the thing. No, those are vendors. They give like other stuff. No, I think that's trading Pokemon. I mean, yeah, Peach would definitely have fairy types, especially because there's a lot of A lot of them that are pink. I think pink would match pretty nicely, I guess, with her. Uh, where? Okay, I can't. Of course, when I try to rely off of the top of my head, I can't seem to find the guy. But I thought he was here. Okay, Rocky helmet's not too bad. Metal cord area? No? No, no. Okay, maybe it is this person. Oh, so I did only need 10. Okay, malicious armor. Alright. Okie dokie, time to... Got a tickle on my nose. Almost had a sneeze. Time to evolve the Charcadet. Alright, got a Cerulege. Alright, Shadowclaw. Well, we're definitely not keeping Nightshade. I figured... Alright, give it. Okay, Lava Plume is a special move. Okay, let's see what other moves you can learn. Remember move. Ooh, Night Slash, yes. You can learn Solar Blade, which is nice, but I feel like without Sunny Day, that isn't gonna really work out as well as I would like. So, we're just for the meantime gonna keep Flame Charge and Will-O-Wisps. Let's see. Sorry, just... Just doing some organization. Yeah, I mean, Pauline is likely to have Pokemon that we'll see. Maybe a Skeledirge. Oh, Primarina. God, there's also Primarina. Okay, let's go back over here. No, back over here. Mm, if we're not excluding legendaries, I would say Meloetta would be a lot more fitting than Chatot. Oh yeah, given that she's in New Donk City, the Timberline, with Girder and Conkeldurr would kind of make sense. And given that she is closely tied to the Donkey Kong arcade games as well as the newer spin-off titles, having a gorilla Pokemon. Although there isn't really a Pokemon that emulates Donkey Kong too well. At least not yet, anyway. Paul the student. Let's see if you can still take it. Oh, is that basically like... Huh? I was gonna say, did that do anything? So it's basically kind of like Mimikyu's disguise, I think. I mean, Chimchar would definitely fit better with Diddy Kong. Alright, Roland Poland's ready. Yeah, we'll put Irma here. Just to be like, you're really good, but I don't want to break the... don't want to break the break the game just yet. By having an overlevel Pokemon. What would be the next viable option? I mean, at some point I need to get Model V going. For the fairy... for the fairy Team Star Boss, so probably wouldn't hurt to have Model V in here. Oh, that's a nice TM to have. Oh, suddenly Gallade. Though, to be fair, I don't necessarily have a male, Curlia available, so just simply catching a Gallade wouldn't exactly... Wario? That's a good question. I would say along the lines of maybe, yeah, darker steel types, I guess. That could be a problem later. No, especially with a fighting type gym leader, not gym leader, team star boss, and an ice type gym leader. Glade would probably be pretty handy right about now. Call you. Oh no, let's see. You know, especially since I just finished Dawn Trail, you know, the name Otis kind of sticks out to mind. No, I'm not gonna necessarily give context for that, you know, due to spoilers. Uh, you know what, Otis? We're gonna just have you out right then and there. Also, what is even this moveset? Hold on, we need to fix this. What is this? Okay, I don't know why you don't have Psycho Cut just yet, but you know what? Okay, you have Psybeam and you have Psychic, but powers up slicing those. Hey, I'm down with that. Not really sure what would be the best Pokemon to take this down, so we're just gonna go for it. Oh, that ain't nice. Oh. Sorry about that. Sorry, getting a little sleepy. Now it's like the challenge is that I gotta find Pokemon that I can train against. And I thought I got this Gimme Gold coin. Just suddenly a bunch of Go-Go. You know what? Kinda works for me. Also, I'm surprised Shadow Claw can hit Go-Go, because it wasn't Go-Go supposed to be, like, normal in grass? It's like, I thought Ghost types didn't affect you. Maybe it was just grass type. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it could. I mean, as far as Luigi, I think, like, fire and ghost types would make sense with him. Ah, it's gonna do Bulldoze again. Crap. Should have switched out. Yep, I am still up and about. Kind of like last part, I'm trying to fit the gym. Trying to fit the gym leader in before I call it an evening. eh. I mean, man, that doesn't really narrow it. That doesn't really help narrowing it down because it's like 3 out of like how many Pokemon? I mean, even just among the cute ones, it's just like, hmm. It's like, it would have to be something that I really have to think about, and it's like, it's not the easiest to do so on stream. Excuse me. That ain't good. Oh! Alright, I think Misfortune is gonna learn Shadow Ball. I mean, we're gonna need something other than Ghost moves, so I guess Side Beam isn't the worst for it to still have. Here. Actually, give you a Soda Pop. And I think it's time to give certain Pokemon a Dusk Stone. There we go, I got myself a Miss Magus. I think I might be able to teach it some additional moves. Okay. And not sure on Phantom Force. Power Gem, You know what? I think I'd rather have it learn Mystical Fire. Because it helps a special attack stat, and it's a very strong stat of it, so... Yeah. Probably good that I teach it that. I mean, I had some good matches with Doug Trio, so, I probably picked Diglett, because, for me to get the most out of Hearthsea, I would need to be able to trade it with the Dragon Scale. Which, I not always able to do. Okay, let's see now. I'm not sure how many of my Pokemon would be well equipped to take on a berry Pokemon. Piplup or Oshawott? I'd say I'm more into Oshawott. I mean, they're both adorable. They both evolve into pretty reliable water types. Uh, both sea otters and, oh, there's Psycho Cut. You know what? I am gonna opt out of Aerial Ace. Both sea otters and penguins are adorable. But, I mean... You know, it's just one of those things where it's like I just vibe more with Oshawott. Sobble or Mudkip? Mudkip. Sobble's not bad, but Mudkip, especially when it evolves later, is better. You know, it sucks now that I got like 2 different Pokemon that are like now more than capable to take things on, but they didn't evolve just quickly enough, at least for the time being. You know, they still might prove capable later, but it's just like, it is kind of getting a too little too late sort of deal, especially as we're kind of nearing the end. It's like, man. Like, Cerulege is like ideal as a fire and ghost type, but it's just like I already have a more than capable fire ghost type. It's Skeleturge. Let alone the Skeleturge with a hidden ability, you know? Ditto or Porygon? I mean, unless if you're breeding Pokemon, you know, Ditto's kind of really only there for the cute factor. I mean, don't get me wrong, Porygon's, especially later with Porygon 2 and Porygon Z, Porygon definitely has uh, gotten more handy. It's just, it's like you have to trade it twice. It's like, for right now, I may as well just keep Roller Lifts. I mean, Sword Dance probably makes more sense, but in case if I really need to have at least some sense of strategy outside of attack, you know, I think I get more use of lowering my opponent's attack versus raising my own through several stages. But I mean, the nice part about, you know, the later games is that it's easy to, you know, unlearn and relearn moves. It's like for the longest time you have to go to like a specific, you know, deleter or relearner for them. It's like I'm glad they just said, hey, you know, just take care of that whenever you want. I think especially as like, you know, the games start to get more open-ended, they probably figured, hey, you know, it probably would not be a good idea if people had to constantly backtrack to certain places just so that they can, you know, learn and relearn moves. You know, unlearn, learn, and relearn moves, you know. I mean, Sylveon has become my favorite evolution too. Um, for me, I think my longest favorite was Espeon. Just basic, not only because I just kind of like the design of it, and it's one of the friendship evolutions as well, but also the fact that, you know, if you couldn't really trade to get an Alakazam, you know, from Gen 2 and onward, Espeon was kind of your best option. Although Gen 3 did give us Gardevoir. Of course, nowadays, you know, especially since we're like over 1,000 Pokemon, even if they can't all be available in any given game or generation, you know, there's still enough variety to choose from if you know where to look and know what to do with what you find. Although I'm surprised they haven't come up with an evolution since Generation 6. I think after Sylveon, they realized they were kind of pushing their luck. Even though it's like, you know, the long-running kind of joke among, you know, the Pokemon fans. It's like, oh, there's going to eventually be an evolution of every type, even normal. Even though Eevee is already kind of started off as normal. There's kind of no reason for it to have a normal evolution or something like that, you know? Togepi or Clefairy? Togepi, because I much rather have a Togekiss than a Clefable. Togekiss is awesome. Oh my god, why? Like, I swear sometimes it's like the computer anticipates that I switch a Pokemon out as soon as it sleeps, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna put the next Pokemon to sleep too, just so I could be a jerk. Even though sleeping could be anywhere from like 2 to 5 turns. In Pokemon, it's, you know, 5 to 6 turns can feel like an eternity. Even if, you know, the battle system is definitely a lot snappier than back when it was the Pokemon Stadium days, you know? Okay, Frostbite. Alright, well, I mean, I really should start, considering my I need to start considering my options for the Team Star, Fairy Boss, so... That is an odd thing to compare. Onyx or Teddiursa? It's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know what I would honestly compare between the two. You know, Onyx eventually becomes Steelix, and Steelix can be pretty handy if you know what to do with it. But it can also, it's also vulnerable to a lot of stuff, unfortunately. I mean, Ursa Rain is alright, you know. And even when it eventually gained another evolution in Ursa Luna, I haven't really found a good opportunity to use it. Even when I there's an Ursa Luna you can catch in a specific kind that you can catch later on, because there are some Hisui Pokemon that you can catch in both expansions, but it's like I haven't really gotten a good way to use the Ursa Luna, and it's a very specific kind too. It's not like the same one that you get in Legends Arceus. I know Steelix has a Mega Evolved form, but again, it's just like I never really saw myself the need to use one with the Mega Stone. I'm gonna have to start to wonder if I even can get to the gym leader by the end of tonight, because it's like I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to keep this up. You know, it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, I still have 40 minutes until it becomes like 3 hours, but it's like, dang, it's still 40 minutes, you know, and you know, at some point it's gonna get to like almost midnight from where I'm at, and it's just like, I would just like to rest, go to bed, you know, get ready to do stuff tomorrow. Last week was kind of a bit of a roller coaster for me. I mean, heck, I think I even tried to stream last week and the internet didn't want to cooperate, so, you know. Trico or Turtwig? I've always kind of found Sceptile to be a bit more handier than Torterra. Torterra could still be a pretty handy Pokemon if you know how to use it. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, if you don't know how to use it, things can go pretty south pretty fast, especially because its grass and ground typing does not do itself any favors, especially in regards to ice types. I mean, the same thing could be said about Sceptile's Mega Form, but, you know, it's only its Mega Form. Although at the same time, the physical special split kind of wasn't exactly the most kind to Sceptile, because it's like, in the past, you know, you know, when moves were based on type, it had moves that, eventually, when the physical special split happened, a lot of its moves that it used to have, its like special attack, they're physical now, and its attack stat, isn't nearly as good as its special attack. So, yeah. Alright, well, have a good night. Thanks for joining the stream. I mean, again, I'm gonna try my darnest to see if I could reach the gym. I mean, not reach. I've already reached where the gym is. It's just, if I want to approach it with the team that I kind of want, it's gonna take a while. It's kind of why, for as much as I want to use a couple of Pokemon that I just inserted into my party, it's gonna take even longer to train them. So, like, it's like since I'm already gonna be doing like a lot of grinding Pokemon, grinding levels as it is, it's like I can't, you know, it's like there at some point there has to be a limit of where I was like, yeah, I gotta stop and just move on already. I honestly do not know. Again, if we're gonna go for like the desert fiend, because deserts could also have like mountains, I would imagine a rock ruff. Okay, well, I mean, Rogue 1 is level 40. I mean, I don't see a Yamper as the kind of dog that would be in the desert, though. Honestly, maybe Growlithe would be kind of more fitting. But I don't know. Again, I don't really think about these sort of things. I could probably take some payments. I mean, I guess in the sense of kind of like the energy they give, maybe. But again, it's like I don't really think about it too much. You know. Yeah, it's. I don't really have a whole lot of luxury of time or mental capacity sometimes to just be like, you know what Pokemon would go best to with what character of this franchise, that usually has nothing to do with Pokemon. It's just like it's certainly a fun thought experiment. But again, it's just one of those things that it's like, especially as as a grown adult, I haven't really considered much because there are just other things that I have to prioritize. you know, like how am I going to pay my bills, or what sort of appointments do I have throughout the day, or what do I need to work on in any particular given day. That's usually what's kind of, at the forefront of my mind, especially nowadays, yeah, I miss the days where I could just spend the days away just kind of imagining, sort of what ifs, but especially, the closest that I'll get is like, speculating stuff on the internet, like what can I hope for in like the next upcoming game or something like that, then I can like extend kind of my imagination towards that, if you call it that. But it's like, I mean, again, it's like, granted, it does kind of make for good small talk. It's just I haven't been able to. It's like, unless if I had to like force myself not to do much of anything else, or if I'm in a situation where I am kind of bored just waiting for something, then yeah, maybe I'll fancy some small talk with like a random topic or something like that. But it's just something that it's like, it is nice to think about. I just haven't put the time and thought in thinking about it. That's the thing. Like, I don't know what kind of dog Pokemon Rosalina had, because, they haven't really come up with, like, a starry dog Pokemon of sorts. That I know of, I could be misremembering, what's currently out there, because, there's over 1,000 of them now. I don't even know if there's like a space cat or anything like that. Oh, actually, no. There technically is. Solgaleo, but Solgaleo is kind of more of a lion than just simply a cat. But again, it's just one of those things where I just haven't really put a whole lot of thought to it because I have to think about other stuff to get throughout my day. Kind of what sucks being an adult. You have to think about the actual real problem. Well, not even so much problems, just like the real, like kind of the reality of kind of where you're at any point of your life, and how you kind of go about your day in response to it. Which sometimes is at my detriment. It's why, I can't, it's kind of also ties into why I can't stream at a consistent schedule. Just because there's just stuff that I have to prioritize more, unfortunately. Dragon Balls. There's not much of a reason for you to have Fire Emblem. there is a fairy dog type. It was introduced in this generation. Yeah, this one. Right here. Fido. And the evolution. They're fairy dogs. Based on bread. Dessert bread even. Kind of like a cake. Although there's also El Creamy, that could also easily be a Pokemon Peach would have. Hey, Fido. Hello, hello, and thanks for the follow. Hope you're having yourself a good time. Just playing Pokemon as well? Nice. I switch. Not really necessary. Plus, I prefer if there are moves that you could do damage with and then switch out. So I figured, though I'm not sure if Ceruledge would learn that, but it's like, although Baton Pass has its uses, because I think you can also, I think stat changes also transfer to it as well. So so close. And then we'll be able to do the gym, and then we'll call it a day. I think. Glacial learns a new move. Will-O-Wisp. Okay. Interesting. Though I do think Confuse Ray kind of just works better for it. So I think you could still take advantage of Hex with Confuse Ray. Excuse me. I would think Mario would more so have Growlithe and Arcanine. That's just me. Okay. Yep, that's 6 Pokemon, so Probably also want rolling pulling out in front. Okay. Now saving my Pokemon adventure. Alright, let's do it! The gym challenge for this one is kind of weird, because it's like... It tries to kind of set itself up as some sort of rhythm game, but it kind of goes about kind of weird. We're gonna do a battle. I forgot. Hopefully my team is up to snuff, cause I totally forgot this happened. Oh. Well, I mean, my Pokemon are at least leveled enough to where it's like it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but you know, I have been proven wrong before. Ah, see? Yeah, I mean, if your Rock Slide was an indication. Ow. And I have two ice Pokemon and a fire Pokemon too, so this this wasn't really in the game plan. Well, at least the Lycanroc is down and out. Sliggoo. Okay, you are Durgan. Glacie might be better for this. Okay. Just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna confuse you. Fix yourself, please. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Well, the Pokemon that would have been really good for this fainted, so well, I mean, you're a ghost type, so even with the ice typing, shouldn't be too much of an issue. Plus, if I confuse it, it might hit itself. Hit yourself, please. Ah, bugger. Well, hopefully I could still take advantage of Hex. Hit yourself. Or not. Shoot. Okay, well, Screamogator can probably take care of it. There we go. You have a Skeledirge too! Oh, that's right, you're gonna terrestrialize. Completely mitigating the ghost weakness. Fun! Alright, that's good. Alright, that took care of everybody. I knew I was right to believe in you. That's enough for me. Man, you've gotten so good. I think it should be enough of a warm-up. Alright, are my Pokemon gonna be healed up? I hope so. Oh yay, that's very nice of her. Welcome to the Alfornata Gym. Let me register as your challenger. Your name is Sumeri, yes? Great, now in order to face the gym leader Tulip, you'll first need to pass the gym test. Here in the Alfornata Gym, that means working up a sweat with a special kind of exercise. I'm talking about the emotional spectrum practice created by Tulip herself, of course. Complete it and you pass the test. The woman wearing the black tracksuit in the practice area will explain the rules to you. Wait a minute, that sounds a bit familiar. Women, black tracksuit? Sounds oddly specific, given that like all of the NPCs wear like only the same few type of clothes. So I would imagine it has to be our gym teacher, Dendra. Osu, welcome, new kid. This is where we do the emotional spectrum practice. Why, it's your battle studies teacher at the Pokemon gym working as here at the Pokemon strip working as a instructor, you ask? Well, I've been friends with the gym leader here, Tulip, since we were kids. We decided to have a Pokemon battle with a special rule. The loser has to do what the winner says. So we battled and, well, Look, never mind what happened. Point is, this is a chance to both get a workout in and help my friend when I don't have classes. The rules of an emotional spectrum practice, or ESP for short, are simple. I'll show you a certain movement, and all you have to do is copy it. Ready to get this gym test started? I hope your body and mind are ready for the challenge. Great, let's get to exercising. Let me show me a eruption of emotions. So basically, there's like 4 different emotions symbolized by like the 4 the 4 buttons on the right side of the controller, you basically have to match what each kind of button is. And they're all kind of laid out the same, but, you know. So yeah, you basically kind of do this like ad nauseum for as long as the emotion is up there. It doesn't immediately change after you do one, so it's kind of like you gotta just keep doing it until like the timer pass, which is like very weird. And there's also somehow Pokemon battles in between too, so it's like it didn't. I don't think it translated as well as they thought it would be, but it's also kind of a sign that you know. This game kind of needed a little more time in the oven. Especially because it's like, there's no reason that this needs to be lagging as much as it is. For something as simplistic as what's kind of going on here. I love the game, but dang, man. So yeah, and I think you're like battling with people that are doing like the exercise session with you. Yeah, I might have. Might not have been super effective with the fairy type, but it still knocked the Kirlia flat on their rear, that's for sure. I think really the only difference is that, you know, the timer for these goes a little bit faster, but still, it's just like... I'm trying to think if there was like a better way they could have implemented this. Again, you know, it's like... kind of like, you know, rhythm game kind of adds to mind. Here, it's just kind of like a... It kind of comes off as like, you know, a broken game of Simon or something. Or it's like, instead of like changing things to like fit a pattern, it's like it hits like the same color like multiple different times. Like, it's this one, I honestly feel like you have to try to fail. It's like, as long as you press the right button enough times when when the signified emotion kind of shows up, it's like, there's no way you're not failing this test. This is like the 7th one, too, so it's just like, huh. Like, even when the other gyms just have fancier way of, like, having Pokemon battles, it's like, even then, they still handle themselves, like, a lot better. I'm not sure how you're building muscle with all that stuff that we're doing. It's just basically just, occasionally posing. Yeah, I guess if you really do it enough times, you might see some sort of results, but it's like, at that point, just do yoga. You'll get more out of it, both physically and mentally. Metacham is a little tricky due to its fighting psychic typing. Kind of similar in respects to Glade. But I think ghost types should be enough, because yeah, fighting does not cancel out ghost. Nothing grows faster than a growing kid like you. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, that was it. I mean, not for nothing, the actual gym fight, it can be pretty challenging. But yeah, it's like, man, that was hardly a gym test. And I think out of all the psychic, out of like a lot of the psychic users that Pokemon has had, I feel like Tulip is just kind of there, what Tulip essentially is she's essentially like a makeup influencer, like the kind that you see like testing like all sorts of brands of makeup on themselves. And I mean, especially, for a Pokemon game reflecting kind of like, the modern era, I guess it would kind of make sense. Even though I feel like Fairy type would have probably been a better fit for her Tulip, and have Ortega be like the psychic type, psychic type. Team Star Boss or something. It's just, but it's just like, at this point in time, it's like you have to compare. You have to compare, like, when it comes, psychic type, just like, any form of like psychic type, a significant psychic type trainer, whether it be a gym leader or elite four or what have you. And I think even in terms of beauty and fashion, there are others that have kind of make more of an impact. See, she even just comes in with, like, freaking two phones. It's like not necessarily paying attention to us from the outset. It's like she's just here just because she has to as a gym leader. Although her design isn't too bad, she definitely looks the part. But yeah, I mean, she already starts off with the Farigiraf, which kind of takes ghost types out of the picture with its normal type, and also starts off with the Reflect. So physical moves are gonna be a tough selling point too. Although I could imagine she's also probably gonna be doing a light screen eventually. Yeah, I do think I kind of over leveled a little bit for her, but it's like, man, it's like after the surprise with Ortega, it's like I had no idea. It's like as far as what level the Pokemon are, and I mean, not helping is that there's plenty of counters to, like, bug ghosted dark types, especially if you're not careful with like dual types and as well as how varied some Pokemon can be. Uh, so yeah, I did kind of overlevel for two. I probably could have just done, like, level 45 or 46 or something. But yeah, see, it still packs a punch, though. So, maybe I wasn't completely wrong in, already snapped out of confusion. See, and yeah, this is just with their Gardevoir, too. Uh, Alright. Yep, the Florges is now a Psychic type. Yeah, a little anticlimactic, but, you know. I'm pretty sure I would have had a little bit more difficulty if, yeah, if I just kept the levels a little even. See, this is more akin to yoga. Alright, 7 gym badges. Pokemon up to level 55 will be easier to catch and listen to the commands you give them. Train hard, you'll be able to use this move in a totally perfect way. Alright, that is 7 gym badges. Hey, Rika here, at your service. These gyms really aren't giving you much trouble, are they? Rika! Alright, you two haven't met, have you? This young lady here is Sumeri. She's so good with Pokemon, even La Primera has taken an interest in her. Oh wow! But I think the Pokemon on Team Poppy are really strong too. Like, really strong. Which one of you is stronger, do you think? Well, I'm one of the Elite Four, so I'm more amazing. Now, aren't you just adorable? I know it's hard to believe, but this tiny little one is indeed one of the Elite Four. Yeah, I am. I hope I get to show you my Pokemon soon, miss. So hurry up and come to the Pokemon League. It's where the, pinnacle. It's where the pinnacle of Pokemon battling happens. See you there. Hey, wait up. Well, you keep up the good work. You heard the kid. She's waiting for you. Wait up, Poppy. Don't leave your pal Rika behind. So yeah, we're pretty much nearly done with all the gym battles. But yeah, unfortunately, we might have to do a little bit more grinding because, you know, there are Pokemon that we didn't really focus on as much that we're gonna have to focus more on with kind of like the later major trainers, and we're gonna have to go back to Ortega before we finally take care of the last remaining gym leader, and then we have the last remaining Titan and the last Team Star boss, and then, you know, we're gonna be starting to focus on end game stuff. You know, including like the last couple of classes. So, okay, well, Ortega is fairy type, so, well, none of my starters are really gonna work out, unfortunately. Although, fire, I think fire resists fairy, so Screamo Gator would be handy, although you are already, like, at max level. I do want to at least level Quack Go-Go up a little bit, just to kind of somewhat match your peers, even though I'll probably have you just at level 48 for the time being. Caspup can take a break. Definitely gonna need Model V. Glacier can take a break. Frostbite, yeah, you're not gonna really be able to help very much. Yeah, we got Sucky Tail. Poland, so we're gonna need to figure out more poison and steel types. It's gonna be a little tricky. Alright, well, we got Claude, ma'am. Fungus, I'm not really too crazy about. You for reals? Although I think, unfortunately, we don't really have a Thunderstone. Although I might be able to buy one at Mesogoza, so not entirely the end of the world. Man, I'm really that short for options. Bronzor. Bronzor might not be a bad idea. I do have Buttrock, you know, my Toxel. But yeah, I mean, the grind is definitely going to be real because I didn't really kind of. Oh wait, I do have a Grimer that hopefully won't take as long to raise up, and it will be. I will eventually become a Muck. So, and then along the way, I need to start considering Pokemon that would be best for the Ice Gym and the Fighting Team Star boss. So... okay, I think with level 37, it'll be a little on the manageable side. 33... 34. Alright, Flash Cannon. Yes, that is helpful. Especially because, yeah, you know, yeah, I think Gyro Ball is not going to do you any justice. You are going to need a large experience candy because, yikes. Ooh, Sludge Bomb. And Sludge Wave. But I don't want to expend, like, all of the candy, so... yeah, we're gonna kind of cut you off a little bit there. But yeah, I mean... there's a lot of Pokemon we're gonna have to train up, unfortunately. So I honestly would not be surprised if the next stream is just Pokemon grinding and nothing else. Because especially with two Pokemon in particular, you know... it's just gonna take a while, you know. Unfortunate as it is, that's just how it is. And one of the places that we're going for training is not going to be the most ideal for some of my team members. Because I think we're going back to the mountains, if I recall correctly. So, yeah. But you know what? it is what it is, and we'll try to figure things out the best we can. So yeah, cause yeah, I only really have like one Pokemon that could be somewhat suitable for this. And we're just gonna put these two back here. Actually, probably even put you back here, depending on what we catch. Because yeah, I mean, I do have options. It's just, oh boy, you know. But you know, it's just a matter. It's just a matter of figuring things out. So, yep, that's gonna definitely be the focus for next time. It's gonna be largely grindy kind of stream, you know. But hopefully, you know, then you know, hopefully the next part or two afterwards, you know, we'll really start getting stuff going, you know. But in the meantime, thank you to everyone that has tuned in. You know, I do apologize if it's not quite the if some of the stuff that went on wasn't quite what you were hoping. You know, I always try to do my best to you know have something you know for everyone, but it's like there's only so much I can accommodate. And yeah, you know, next part will be part 13, where we are going to focus on training for the Team Star boss or Ortega. So, with all that said, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful evening. Hope you are enjoying your summertime. You know, stay safe, stay hydrated, and take care.